Hi, welcome to KiwaniTalk. We're a public information program put together by the people from the Dearborn Kiwanis Club, usually with help from students and staff at WDHS at Dearborn High School, my alma mater. But today we're at the Dearborn Administrative Center because it's the middle of summer, school is closed, they're paving the parking lot, doing renovations in the studio. But we thank you to the mayor and the people from City Council for letting us use part of their facilities. My name is Gary Gardner, and today we have a little different kind of a show. We do it every year is different. This year we're talking about peanuts for some reason. Dearborn Kiwanis Club is the #1 peanut selling club in the entire world. We are continuing that tradition this year. We hope to make our unbroken streak, except for 1 year, #1. And to help us do that, we have a number of people, as you can see around our table. We have our president, Renee Anastasia. He's here today. We have our big goober, Carol Slater, who is the goober is the person in charge of the peanut sales. Your able assistant, Marie Labo, is not available today.
Right, yeah, she couldn't make it, but she's my little goober and I'm the big goober.
And we also have Ray Scaboria and Skip Armstrong is here to talk about peanuts, our experiences and things like that. But again, we want to thank all of you out there for supporting the Dearborn Kiwanis Club because we support a lot of people. We've gone back a long time. Who is the oldest peanut seller here, and what do you remember? Not the oldest peanut seller. Who's been selling peanuts the longest?
Yeah, I'm the oldest peanut seller. He's the second oldest.
I'm the second oldest. Yeah.
I joined in 1984, so I don't know when you joined, Ray.
It was very close to the same time. I can't remember the exact year.
But my experience was, we get teams together and we compete with the teams. But going back in history, this was really interesting. One of the guys, Ray, you can help me out on this, but something to do with a parade down Michigan Avenue.
Yeah, I remember it distinctly.
And they had an elephant in the parade. And I don't remember the parade, but I do remember the elephant at Westbourne, which was where Crowley's was.
Yeah.
So, because my daughter got a picture, my two daughters got a picture of him on the elephant, the hairy, smelly elephant. That's about this wide.
We have a picture of me on the elephant with our two boys at the time, and I was mentioning that I had hip problems later, and I really found out when I sat on the elephant because that's it's like sitting on the floor. It's like doing a split almost.
But that was always our kickoff for the peanut drive, was to have an elephant. Well, you can't do that forever because they do cost a lot of money, and that comes out of our club fund, and it doesn't come out of peanut money, but it would come out of our club fund. Well, it costs a lot of money, so we went on to different venues from that point on.
One of the things I want to say about the monies that we raise, except for the actual cost of the peanuts, where does the rest of the money go, Renee?
Every penny that we bring in for the peanuts goes back into the community. Our average has been the last few years about $40,000 to $41,000. We do it on a weekend. We started on the Thursday, September 5th.
5th this year.
And so our members are out there from Thursday all day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday we come in, we count the money. I've only been in it for a couple years. I was the big goober a few years ago, and just to see the commitment from our members that stand out there in 90-degree weather on hot pavement.
Or rain.
Or sleet or snow. It's just, I am overwhelmed by their commitment to get as much money from our donations of our peanut sales so that we give every penny back into the community.
And again, all our overhead, the club, we don't charge for that. But basically, the cost of the peanuts, all the people who make the phone calls, collect the things, store the peanuts, that's all done as part of our members' contribution to what's going on. But all the money goes back into the community.
Even though it's only a 3-day physical weekend for us to be out, the peanut drive does go through the end of December because we do rely a lot on, and we've been blessed to have a lot of corporate donations that have really helped us fund this program so that we can give back to the community.
Yeah, and Carol, when we say corporate donations, what do we mean by that?
I don't know, because I came from Dearborn Heights, and I've been selling at that chute, the one on, let's see, you're on Telegraph Road, and you're going to turn on Ford Road
Right.
to go west.
Right.
Okay, so I'm in that little chute. And it's such a thrill for me because I've been doing this for 18 years with Dearborn Heights. All I have to do is walk up and down the chute. They roll down their windows and they give me money. And a lot of them don't even want the peanuts. The people out there are so generous, it's emotional.
If I could just interrupt just for a second. Our club and Dearborn Heights Kiwanis Club joined forces last year. So we've got a lot of new members that in the Dearborn Club, it's now called the Dearborn Kiwanis Club, serving the greater Dearborn Heights area, surrounding area. So we really welcome Carol to come in because that's a great corner. Jeanette Christie used to do that
great.
corner all the time.
Well,
Yeah.
with that, we have more corners because Dearborn Heights had a few other corners. So not only do we have more people, but now we have more corners to let the public know who we are and why we're doing this and what it goes for. So, yeah, it's been a blessing to bring Dearborn Heights in and their members, how supportive they are. So we now have more corners. So nobody should miss us that weekend because we're
Yeah.
going to be all over Dearborn and Dearborn Heights.
And we
If-
have plenty of signage. Don
If I
Killian
may,
was
I
the sign
wanted-
man. He made them all.
If I may, I wanted to go back to Gary's question, what are corporate donations? And basically, they're anybody who writes a check that says Kiwanis Club of Dearborn Foundation on it and then donates that to us.
Yeah.
We
Well,
don't, we don't
yeah, it doesn't have to be a
differentiate between
business, yeah.
individuals that do that and companies that do
Yeah.
that.
We sell it by the case at that point.
Yeah.
We
So-
sell cases,
So you
we
want to
also.
show,
you know,
some
we-
of the things
We
that
might
we
sell these or these, or possibly boxes with a.
And obviously,
sticker on it.
it's a lot easier for us to collect money from our corporate sales. And I hit up a lot of judges. I try to get judges and lawyers that I know. People have, when Skip was in the steel business, how did you get your people?
Steel is hauled by truckers, and I go after the trucking companies. I also go back, my customers in the steel business were just so generous. I mean, just Sabre Steel would, I do 2 tests a month for them. That's $100. Income for my company. They buy 2 cases of that, 1 case of this. Another company buys 6 cases of peanuts. They ship them to all their locations. So those are corporate contributions, and that's you got to continue doing that. Carrera's a restaurant in Dearborn Heights. He gives me $150 every year. I mean, it's just generosity like that. Or go after your barber shop, just your judges.
Right. And I want to start with and people talk about where the money goes. And without going through every single one, why don't you start at the top of the list, somebody, and talk about where the Dearborn Kiwanis Club monies that are raised by our peanut sale, which this year is September 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Where does the money go, Renee?
Well, Gleaners Food Bank, which is, Ray, are you part of the Gleaners?
Not-
or
well,
Efficient?
I work at Fish and Loaves,
Fish
but
and
the
Loaves.
Fish and Loaves and the people that work at Gleaners are all volunteers. So they basically interact back and forth in the building there.
We do Friends of the Dearborn Animal Shelter, Dearborn Goodfellows, Dearborn Symphony for the 4th grade children's concert. We do Vista Maria for Home for Girls, Starfish Family Services.
And that's just some of them that
Just the
all
beginning.
this money goes to.
Yeah.
And it's really being out there selling the peanuts, getting hold of people. That's kind of the fun part of doing this.
One donation we make, I think, every year is we always donate to the Dearborn High School video program.
Yes.
And it's their option how they use the funds. They usually, I believe, use it for a scholarship for one of the students to participate in some course or some training related to the video.
A couple of our major ones, the Salvation Army, the Dearborn Heights Citadel, and
Nova.
Nova, which is a sandwich program that we do at Central Methodist Church through one of our members who works down there and represents them, Jerry Ossenbacher. And Pendleton School for Blind Children down in Taylor, which is a free school for blind children with another disability. And this club gives them a lot of money. And it's only because of this, only because of the peanuts. That's all. That's the only reason we're out there, other than socializing. By the way, if somebody out there wants to be a member, Renee, how do they become a member?
Well, they get to come and enjoy a really nice meal with us at PLAV Hall. They get to come
About
and be
PLAV Hall, that may be an acronym that people may not know.
Polish
It's-
League of American Vets.
And it is up on,
It's on West Warren in Dearborn Heights, right
And-
off of Telegraph in West Warren.
yeah, so if you go to West Warren, just east of Telegraph, the PLAV. is-
West of Telegraph.
I'm directionally challenged, so whatever
Okay.
you guys say.
It's the west.
Yeah.
Nightingale is the street, cross street.
West of Telegraph.
Yes, west of
So
Telegraph.
they come, and they get to come like 3 times to kind of check us out. Our club is so overwhelmingly friendly. We have a nice meal. We always try to have a really good speaker. We encourage them. We invite them to become of our family. After 3 or 4 visits, they want to join.
And everybody has a sense of humor. I
Oh,
go to
yeah.
those meetings and I just laugh.
Yeah, we have a
Laugh.
good,
They
good
do
humor.
so much work for the community, but I can't, everybody's laughing. I mean, it's so much fun.
You know, one of the things that always we talk about a lot, you know, the history that has come from the peanut sale with Dearborn is everyone knows in September, that first weekend in September after Labor Day is Dearborn Kiwanis peanut sale. I mean, you talk to people and say, well, we do a peanut fundraiser. Oh, you guys are the Kiwanis peanut people? We're like, yeah. So everybody knows that in Dearborn on the corners of Outer Drive and wherever, that's Kiwanis selling the peanuts, not asking for donations for
And if
peanuts.
somebody wants to send a check in,
Yep.
they can make it out to Dearborn Kiwanis Club Foundation, if you will. Send it to P.O. Box 2411,
Yep.
Dearborn, Michigan,
48124.
124.
Yep. Yeah, so we've even gotten checks sometimes in the bucket that, you know, we have our
Right.
buckets. People, they know that we're gonna be on that corner, so they just drive up, put a check in the bucket, and, you know, we are Dearborn.
Ray, what's the largest amount you got in your bucket on the street?
Oh, I suppose, I don't think I ever got a $100 bill. Mostly it's 20s. I've gotten 20s.
I've gotten a
For a
50.
bag
I've gotten
of
a 50.
peanuts.
Yeah.
Wow.
I never
Bag
got a
of
50, I
peanuts.
don't
And I know
think, but-
Jerry Ossenbecker, there's one guy that always comes by his corner and puts a $100 bill in.
Yeah. He's been doing it for a long time, and he's been very involved in the Dearborn Country Club and been the
Yes.
chairman of it in the past. And some of his donors look forward to putting money in his bucket, you know. This year, we have a change in our peanut supplier. There was, for a long time, a company that specialized in producing the peanuts just for the peanut sale.
It was called Kiwanis One.
Kiwanis One, okay. Well, they have gone out of business, so we're going with Planters peanuts this year. And actually, you get a little more peanuts, you get a whole ounce instead of 3/4 of an ounce in this bag. And each bag, our president next year is Renan Lucher, am I saying his name right? And he decided every bag should have a sticker on it, and he's going to make sure they're there. So it just will identify us as the Dearborn Kiwanis Club on the bags.
And one of the things that I do with my peanut, I kick in some money from my office, and I use them for Halloween.
Oh,
Yep.
there you go.
Because I get 2 big boxes of these, and I give 1 bag of peanuts and 1 candy donation to the kids, and they fill it up, and I just hope the heck they don't have peanut allergies. But if their parents let them eat them when they get home, well, it's their own fault.
Well, I believe this is a good protein also. This is good protein, so this is good for us to even have at work as a snack because it's a good protein.
Carol, I sell the gourmet, and this year
We did too, yeah.
It might not be
In
that
Dearborn
particular
Heights,
one,
yeah.
but I advertise it on my order form that I send out to my corporate customers as a great holiday gift.
Yeah.
You know,
And
Yep.
we'll even put a bow on it.
you will.
I will.
I won't. I just send it to them. because
I will
have
put
to
a
pay
bow on for
postage,
you.
too.
There you go.
But just to let you know, when I was peanut chairman, I think that year was at 62,000. I think Jerry Ossenbecker got 64,000 one year. So we've been in the 50s and 60s, and you know.
That's
That's our
awesome.
gross, but our net is still pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. It's amazing.
I love going to other Kiwanis clubs and telling them, like, we do the peanut fundraiser, and they're like, well, how much can you get for that? And I'm like, about 42 to 45,000. And they're like, wow, how do you do that? I said, we stand on the corner for 3 or 4 days, and then we have corporate donations or, you know, friend donations till December, and we raise 42,000. So couple other clubs do it, not as big as us. But one of the things I think helping us this year is not only Dearborn Heights come in, we also have the Etzel Ford Key Club students, and we have the Circle K from U of M Dearborn that are looking forward to September to come out and do this with us, because it's part of what their service is serving the community. And we look around, and I know I can't stand on any hot cement too much longer, so they're going to be the younger people standing on the hot cement.
And explain what a Circle K and what a Key Club is,
Okay,
too,
Key
Renee.
Club is high school students that form a Kiwanis group within their school. We have them at Fortson, Dearborn High, and Etzel Ford, and Annapolis. So that's our Dearborn area. And most cities have high school students. So in our club, we have about almost 100 students that meet weekly, and they go out and do service projects. They make blankets for children of abused children. They do service. They help us with the NOAA project, making sandwiches. So their goal is service projects to give them hours to the community. And Circle K is our college students. They meet like every other week, but right now through
U
the
of
whole
M
summer,
Dearborn.
U of M Dearborn,
Yeah.
they've been out doing service projects for the feeding the homeless, Kids Against Hunger all summer. So they're our future. And they come to our meetings and they understand, they see what we do. And when they go out and do a project like this, they want to keep doing it. They want more. And our goal is when they graduate from college, they get to become a member for 2 years, free, to continue on their leadership in Kiwanis to become future Kiwanis members.
Carol, how much, when I see you on the street, how much do you want me to put in for this bag of peanuts?
Well,
probably sells for
but
$1 and
everybody
$1.50.
asks that question, and then I just say, give whatever you want.
Yes, exactly.
But
Whatever
the
they
most
could-
I ever got was $10. I never got like a $50 bill.
I got 50. But,
I
but
have
we
gotten
would,
some 20.
we would prefer that we don't hear any change going. We prefer to hear the folding money
The
going.
crinkle rather than the clank.
No,
I don't
Right.
get much change.
Them-
I get bills.
If you've been out for 4 hours or 5 hours, that bucket
Gets
starts
heavy.
to get heavy if there's a lot of change
Yeah.
in it. Now, well, even it gets heavy, you know.
Yeah.
And but usually you have to go drain it someplace and bring it out and start again, you know.
And one of the things that was said in passing, we have competition within our club
Yes.
and talk about that competition, how that's
Her,
organized.
Carol and her husband Mark
You know, Mark.
I don't mind.
put together an NPL draft. You know what that stands for?
National Football League, only it was National
Peanut
Peanut League.
Okay.
We had an Excel spreadsheet, and we had all the teams, and then we had the names on one side of the sheet, and then the team leaders would start picking their people.
Yeah. That was kind of drudgery in the past that made it kind of fun.
Yeah.
It really
Thank
was
you.
kind of
Yeah.
fun.
It was-
Thank you,
Yeah.
because I was so excited about it, and then yesterday it was kind of quiet.
No.
I was the
Yeah,
only
that-
one that was
Yeah,
excited.
and
That
Mark,
was fun.
Mark had his NFL hat on.
NBC,
Yeah.
NBC.
He
has
was
Yeah,
the broadcaster,
NBC,
NBC, and so that's
Are you
what
ready
we,
for some peanuts?
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's
we got into it.
The
The only
whole thing
thing is I
is-
couldn't type. I'm not-
yeah. It was well.
That's all
you
I
can
do
type.
at work, but
It's making it fun. It's
But-
making it fun for
It
our
was
members.
so
But
much
now that we
fun.
have the teams, talk about the internecine sort of fighting that goes on.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm a team captain, and I will be sending out blurbs to my team on what to do and how to do it and good things like that.
And what's the incentive for the winning team? What do they get that
Boy,
other
that's-
team
Oh.
That's the best part.
Yeah.
The winning team gets steak and champagne. And of course, it does not come out of the funds. This comes out of our club money, and we pay
Or donation
weekly.
from our members.
We pay weekly for our meal, but the winning team gets steak and champagne.
And what does
The
our losing team get?
Gets franks and beans
Yeah.
and beer.
Yeah,
And
but I
that's-
tell you, we have the best beans made by Al Holmes. So I don't mind losing if I have to.
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win, yeah.
Are you saying that if you're the winner, you're not allowed to have the beans if you want, or what's
Well,
up
you
with
know, we might stop them this year to make sure there's enough for the losing
Yeah,
team to
we
have
should.
some. Because there's only one winning team and there's 3 losing teams.
Renee, are you the president this coming year?
I am now. but next year,
No,
no.
next year.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
In September.
Okay, I just
Yeah,
wanted to check.
Her reign
But I am
ends
on
in
the
September.
I am on the winning team because Don Killian's team won last year, and I got drafted to
And,
the
and I'm on
Dons.
his team too.
Okay.
So
Yep.
yeah, we're gonna win.
We're gonna win.
Maybe.
Yeah,
So-
it's fun.
And
It's
we
just
talked about some of the charities, and there's some more that we haven't mentioned too. There's almost too many to mention, but Motor City Band, the Alzheimer's Association, the Police Explorers at the police department. So the monies that we get, there's a process for divvying up the money that goes through our executive board. Explain how that works too.
Okay, we request, like, if one of these, like this, well, let's see, Make-A-Wish Foundation, they would send us a letter and say, we're looking for a donation for this reason. So they'll give us like a date and what the donation goes towards that supports somebody here in Michigan or in the Dearborn area. So then that letter is given to, we have committees. We have 4 committees that start at Young Priority. I think you're wearing that shirt. Then we have, Skip, you are
Community service.
community service. Then we have a youth services, and then we have an earmark. So
Or children priority
children,
1, too.
yeah, I said Ray's got
Yes,
children priority
okay.
1. So those letters come into the mail that Al Holmes gets, and he divvies them up to the chair people. Then the chair people, the week before the board meeting, will review the requests that come in, and we do get a lot of requests, some repeats. But the committee chairs and their teams are very good at determining the need and the request, and then they determine a recommendation to the board. You know, we recommend, you know, like $200 to this organization, and then the board listens to the reason, the need is there, and then, I tell you, it gets pretty much always approved.
And Gary, just to let you also know, just to expand upon that just a little bit, Make-A-Wish Michigan, that's a Michigan outfit. That the funds stay in Michigan. Make-A-Wish is a national organization and a great organization, but they have a 300-mile bike race every July. And a friend of mine happened to be in the bike race because his son was a Make-A-Wish recipient, and we're going to have them on our KiwaniTalk show pretty soon. But we give money to that Make-A-Wish Michigan. So it stays in Michigan,
Yeah.
it stays in Dearborn Heights area. Southeastern Michigan is the way I like to describe it. That's where our funds go.
And that's where, by the way, our viewership too, and there's people outside of Dearborn in 42 cities around southwestern Wayne County, a little bit, Oakland County. And if anybody out there is hearing this and they say, no, that sounds like a pretty good place, and their Kiwanis Club is not as organized and as industrious as ours is, P.O. Box 2411, Dearborn, Michigan 48124. You can send a check to the Dearborn Kiwanis Foundation, and we'd be happy to accept those funds.
Absolutely.
The other reason, when we get these requests, we always try to invite them to our meeting so that we can present the check to them, and we also encourage them to come back as a speaker. So they can tell us what they do to help the community or whatever organization they're in, and we present the check at that meeting.
That's one of the things that happens at the meetings. We have a speaker, we have some fellowship, we have adult beverages if you're so inclined, and a pretty decent meal too.
Yep.
Gary, I wanted to mention something. You mentioned one of our charities was the Dearborn Explorers, the Police Explorers, and our checks often go for summer scholarships for the Explorers to go to. There's a camp, a one-week camp.
1 week camp.
And I'm quite sure we have 2 or 3 or 4 or maybe even more of our finest here in Dearborn that went to that camp, on the scholarship that we provided.
Right, and because of this peanut fundraising, we had funds available for 2 cadets to go to the camp for the week.
And everybody sees them around. These young people they're also volunteers. They're out there volunteering
In a
as scouts in
uniform, yeah.
uniform. You see them at homecoming and various other events, and it's great training
Yeah.
for them to have before they decide to go into the police department.
Yeah.
So when you see somebody on the street, get these peanuts, buy them. Put some folding money in. We could use it. We've got a lot of people in need in this community and in southeastern Michigan, a lot of people in need.
Need, and also good, like the Lennon Pregnancy Center too.
Yes.
We have the Dearborn baseball It's also softball for kids.
Boys and girls.
Yeah,
Boys
we
and
do a
girls. I
boys
was
team and a girls
I was
team.
the coach of a softball team for Dearborn baseball years ago, and turns out that our club sponsored my particular team. It worked out that way, and it was great to have that. And so, proudly wore the Dearborn Kiwanis shirt for that, and we had the special all-star days at homecoming, all those type of things. And we're down to about our last 3 minutes here. So, what most special memory do you have from selling Renee, real quick?
I think it's going around as the big goober. I was in charge of making sure these guys had something to drink on a hot day. And I was just so impressed that they stood there for hours, just standing there, not complaining, and just taking whatever donations we could get and never complained because it was all about the kids and giving back to the
Well,
community.
you didn't make them stand out there. They
No,
were
I
doing
didn't.
it on their
No,
own. Okay.
they did it on their own. I
That
just
was-
make sure they had a bottle of water with them.
Carol Slater, what's your favorite memory?
My memories were, I'm going back from the Dearborn Heights days, and Lionel Van Houten showed us how to sell peanuts with his hands up in the air. So you look even taller and you stand out more. That's my memory. And he got everybody doing this, and there was so much enthusiasm, and we miss him.
Great idea.
Yep.
Ray?
I had a friend that I invited him to Kiwanis meeting, and he came to the meeting, and I was thinking maybe he'd join, but he said, I'm kind of private. I'm not going to join. But you know what? He's made a darn nice contribution to Kiwanis every year
Oh,
since.
that's him.
So that's a nice memory.
That friend
Yeah.
of yours is a good
Good
friend of
friend.
ours, I'll tell you that. Because I know about how much he
Yeah.
didn't spare anything,
No.
and thank goodness for him, and he doesn't want to be known.
Yeah.
The money
But-
comes into your particular team, so maybe that's why
Yeah.
you got drafted high.
So that's how he got steak.
He's on my team.
That's how he got steak.
Hey, he's
Yeah.
on my team.
I know flies on Skip. How about you, Skip?
I think just the camaraderie of being on the street. I don't go on the street as much now, but I do collect quite a bit of money. But all mine says is corporate contributions, and I end up spending more money in postage shipping this stuff to Grand Rapids to my customers or some other place in Michigan. But just the camaraderie and the satisfaction that you're giving back. You've done something.
Can I slip one thing in
You
quick?
may.
Last year, I had my second hip replacement in operation. I'm very mobile now, so I'm going to be on the street this year.
Wow.
Can I plug one thing? We all do all of this, but there's one person in our club that keeps this so organized for us to make it easy to get on the teams, to know who's winning, to know who's donated, to know who to push to get some donation. And I'm going to name him, and his name is Al Holmes, and I want to thank him for putting all the paperwork together for our team.
He's also a cameraman for us.
Yeah.
And he, no TV
No,
TV
yeah,
for
but
me.
he's
I don't-
behind our
I'll be
scenes.
behind the scenes.
He's behind our
Well,
scenes.
I want to remind everybody again this year, September 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, Dearborn Kiwanis will be on the street. But you're not limited. Again, the Post Office Box 2411, Dearborn 48124, Dearborn Kiwanis. Renee Anastasia, Carol Slater, Ray Scaboria, Skip Armstrong. I'm Gary Gardner. See you on the streets this year and every year going forward.
Go Peanuts!
Sell those nuts.
Have a good night.